So after I share the evolutions of Wing Chun video, I got many messages from our Wing Chun friends. It seems that people like that video on evolutions. So today I like to share more on that, and I invite Raymond is here too. So on the evolution of Wing Chun, we need to know that the mindsets are differences. There are differences, different type of mindset there for past 120 years. That's why Wing Chun become the Wing Chun today. And due to every environment, like if you live in Asia, you have one type of mindset. If you live in Europe, you have another type of mindset. So if you live in China, you have another type of mindset. So things evolve differently. And the issue right now is the technical educations. See, a thing evolve is natural, but the education, the basic educations of the Wing Chun, the basic technology education Wing Chun, those must not be influenced. It's like you study physics. You can study around the world, or different people have their different mindsets. But the basic is always the same. So no matter what, the physics will continue going on, going down. But the minute the education is incomplete, then the entire thing change. And that is the problem of Wing Chun now, if we want to go forward. So Raymond, do you agree with this, or what do you think?
Yeah, like you said it in the video. Yeah, I think that is right what you say, and that's the problem, I think, and that's why Bruce Lee get some other styles to get his Wing Chun better, in his style, his own style, and if I think if you know more about Wing Chun, then you maybe stay in the Wing Chun way, and that's yeah, because what you say in the education, 120 years, there's nothing new and nothing evolving, eh? And I think that's a problem. Many stick by the lineage, and yeah, my Sifu said this, and we have to do it like that, and they don't know that, do not evolve, and that's a big problem.
The bigger problem is not only in Wing Chun, in all traditional Chinese martial arts right now facing a crisis. And if you watch the video from China, from the young people from China, you can see that they now know that traditional Chinese martial arts lost the contact with the reality. And that is where it divert into who is the authentic. So after a while, it becomes a matter of focus on who is more authentic, but it already divert from the real world. That's why today you can see people argue, debate on who is more authentic, who is practice more authentic stuff, and then secret techniques and all this mysterious stuff or internal stuff. But whatever the authentic and the internal stuff, disregard of what happened, it is disconnect from the reality of the world martial art system, like the MMA, like the Western boxing and so forth. It practically every style have their own world. So that is the problem with today's traditional Chinese martial arts. And so if we look at Wing Chun by evidence, because whatever I'm saying is by evidence, I can show you historic evidence like the other video. If the basic educations of Wing Chun is not planted now, then there's no Wing Chun in the very near future. Because you need a basic education to really learn what we call Wing Chun. It's like when you learn Judo, you know the uniqueness of Judo. You have the Judo's basic education. We are not talking about who is good or who is bad or who is more authentic. We don't. We just talk about like Judo, the uniqueness of Judo, the basic education of Judo. And then, of course, you can see that Judo is have mapped into science, and Judo go to Olympic. And today, everybody in all the country, people practice Judo. Disregard it is European, disregard it is Asian. When you go to Olympic, everybody know what is Judo. Well, everybody can do their different way, but there's still, everything is based on the same platform. But right now, Wing Chun don't have that anymore in Asia. Like this morning, I just shared the random unstable recycling momentum development. If you don't have that developed, you cannot understand what is going on with the worldwide martial art system or other martial art system. So like Raymond, you practice Western boxing before, right?
Yes.
Is that true that it is the momentum is the based on the random, unstable, and recycling momentum when you go sparring? Is that true?
Yes, it's true. If you don't have done that, you don't know what it is. It's go very fast, and you have to move, and you have forces and momentum and all those things together. Yeah, you have to do it before you know what it is. And if you think, oh, I do my Wing Chun and I can use it on the street, and you never practice real fight, then it's a problem, because you don't know what you're gonna do if you do have the cycling and everything.
Right. Now, you've been practicing Wing Chun how many years?
More than 20 years.
Okay. So you go through all the Wing Chun, different Wing Chun at different time, different Wing Chun, right?
Yes.
So basically, you have the form, the Chi Sao, and then different program, and then the wooden dummy,
The dummy, or the
and
dummy.
different on and off. Like somebody say, oh, Wing Chun is Wang Chun, Wing Chun is White Crane, Wing Chun is Tai Chi. You go through all this. Now the question you need to ask is this: have all those 20 years of training get into the random unstable recycling momentum training? Does it have this type of training?
No, I missed it very much because it will never happen that you're gonna use it in real fights
so if I understand, you say that with all your 20 years of practice orders, you do not have it doesn't offer the training of the random unstable recycling momentum like the boxing. Am I right?
Yes. I'm glad I did boxing. That's true. Because that I can feel what it is. And if you don't have that, then you never know it.
See, this is a big problem. If you don't see that, that means whatever you do on your form, your chi sao, your wooden dummy, it never connected with the real life.
Yeah.
All right? Because in the real life, disregard of style, everybody is playing in the unstable random recycling momentum. That's why it keeping striking and continuous, like in the sparring. Now, that concept and the so-called chain pan concept is a different stuff. Am I right? The chain pan is you go chain pan, you continue punch, you continue attack. But in the sparring of, say, Western boxing or other art like judo or something, everything is not a one technique continues. It is an exchange of different three-dimensional different things, like in the boxing. It's not like I just go jab, 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 continue jab. Now today's in Wing Chun, people thinking about continuous chain pan. So the unstable random and momentum recycling is not about continuous chain pan. Am I right?
There goes a lot more around, eh? You have to do much more than only punching. Eh? You have to do different levels and zones and like you tell in the video. Eh?
No. So if we do not start the first day with the student, they will never learn. Like you spend 20 years, if you never learn the Wing Chun way of unstable, random, momentum recycling handling, you never learn.
No. That's why I don't do it anymore like that. So that's the main reason, because I learned a lot, but not in the effectivity way. Like if you have to use it in the ring or on the street, then you have to train like that, like you told. And it's the only way, I think. And now I know, but then I didn't know. So
the issue right now is we need to know what is the problem and what is the solutions.
Yeah.
The wooden dummy, the chi sao, the form is not solving the random, unstable recycling momentum problem. And that is why now again you're back to the evolution and the basic education. That's why it is, the system is not working. It is not only Wing Chun. Traditional Chinese martial art for the major get into that problem. Like I showed the other day on the other video on the evolution. People talk about internal, there's chi, there's everything. But if you look at the push hand competition in the Chen village, China, you got the top push hand guy. There's no chi there. There's no taking force into your body. Everything turned into like a wrestling match. And that's why in that video, I questions. If you put a judoka from Olympic inside there, do you think that the competitor in the Tai Chi be able to handle that? But you don't see internal there. You don't see internal there. Suppose that if you have an internal which is real, that means you have advantages and you do things, have your uniqueness. But there's no uniqueness there. Everybody can go to YouTube and watch those push hand. There is no uniqueness there. So like today, when we talk about Wing Chun, the uniqueness is Wing Chun is in the shoot in and the sticking fighting. Well, people can look into like the boxing peekaboo. But peekaboo, even though it's close, but peekaboo do not use the body and the leg to pressure, to jam the opponent. So there's a uniqueness there. Peekaboo do not have shoot in. So if a person using peekaboo, another person using the short strike Wing Chun, even though they get close, we don't talk about who is a better fighter, no. Even they get close, you know that they are different. So now another question is, everybody talk about this internal, from Chinese is promoting this for past 100 years or so. So what is internal? And many people brought out, this is from China, from YouTube, brought up the Kung Fu master in the 1930s or something, internal art and so forth, different master. But when they go teach, later on they are teaching like, they study some Western boxing and they base on Western boxing. So this is all problem in education. If you don't have anything which is be able to play in the unstable, random, recycling momentum and with their uniqueness, that means you don't have an art in the real world. It's just a reality, a truth. That's why you look at the young Chinese is laughing at traditional Chinese martial art, Kung Fu master, and you see that they say, well, when you train one way. When you fight, everybody fight like, you know, in a random way. There's no uniqueness. So in the evolution, if you are not going through like the worldwide view, arm race, and the fuse with the science and keeping growing, the education will be break down, meaning broken down. You cannot continue because you don't know what it is. Like in the localizations, this grandmaster is the ultimate, and then this is a family art. See, that do not present technical answer or technical solutions. They just present that, oh, I have this, I'm this guy. But it doesn't show you the technical. So that by itself is limiting itself. And that's why it get detached from the reality. So the same thing is like this United States of America Wing Chun technology. As in the book, many people like Raymond, who study with me, taking some class study with me, say the 6 core element, the 4th flow. The content is in the book. It's just like they study with me and then be able to experience that thing faster. So Raymond, you might be able to share, what do you learn? Compare, like you learn this a few class you take about a year now with me.
Yeah.
What do you learn? Compare with what you learned 20 years in the past 20 years. What do you learn? What is the content? If you like to share, you can share. What actually you learn.
When I read the books, it was I had many questions, and I take in the lessons. Then it gives me more insight and more depth, and you're going to practice a lot of. You go deeper in the little things are important. Not only you have to fight, but you have to stand right, and in the to see stand, and breathing is important, and you have to settle your mind, and all those things, and recovery, and there are so many things I never heard about it, and it's
now
you have to, yeah.
After you go through it, can you handle it? Do you really experience it? You know exactly what it is, and you can even see that in your student, how to help them to improve?
Yes.
So it's not about concept. It is about it's like you go to school, you learn something.
Yes.
In the classroom, you make homework, and then you be able to practice.
Yeah. With this, you don't understand it. You have to do it like a college. You have the books, you have to learn, you have to practice, and all is in it. And that's the right way. And now I teach my students the same way, so they understand it exactly what it is, and step by step, and not going with some programs, and you never use it. And this is the important education, how it's supposed to be. This is Wing Chun for me.
So at everything you learn, do you forget about it, or it is you learn and then you use it, you have more to learn and you use it, and then at the end you use all the thing every day?
Yes. And as I said, it is in you. It's not you have to remember, you do it. That's also a big difference. If you learn programs, you forget it. And this is the education, that it stays in you. You don't have to remember it. It is always there. You do it, and that's the big difference, I think. So you learn it like, you know it. It's in you.
Yeah. The thing is this. The thing is that, Raymond, I think your thing is dangling there. Your thing, so that it make noise.
Oh.
So the issue is this. The issue is that you learn something. You have to experience it in you, and then you have to develop in you, so you're proficient. So when you're proficient, you don't even have to think. People ask you something, you know what it is. And then when you see something in your student, you right away know what they're doing is proper or not. because now you know that state. So that is education, and so that's why, you know, like every book, like you know, the every book, every class you go through is actually you examine yourself, and then you develop yourself. Now there's one other thing. In the past 60 years or so, that is something which is really misleading. A misleading thing is like internal, is like spiritual. I cannot teach you anything. I only can help you to understand yourself. Well, that is not true. It's not like, oh, you come to me, I'm your teacher. I cannot teach you anything. I only can help you to understand, to explore yourself. Well, that is not true. That is actually false. Why? It's just like Raymond. You go through the 6 core element, right? You go through the 6 core element to your all joint, your breathing and everything. Do you learn something? Or it is just, I cannot teach you anything. I help you to explore yourself, to understand yourself. You see the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is, if you go through like what we talk about, the 6 core element and so forth, is we go through every element in our own body. We understand what it is. We really develop it. We know what is proper way, not proper way, what is natural, what is not natural. That is very different than you come to me and then I say, well, I cannot teach you, but I only can help you to know yourself. What? Know what? If you don't understand breathing, we can go through 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. You don't know what is breathing anyway. So how can, if I don't know breathing, you don't know breathing, how can I teach you or how can I help you to know yourself, your own breathing? Well, that is impossible.
Yeah.
Raymond, you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's true. Yeah, it's exactly that. I learned a lot of things, different things, and but this is totally different. This is the, yeah. This works for me very well, and it's because you teach it like that. That's
See, actually, if one pay attention, one don't need me, because the books I already tell what you one need to know.
yeah.
The issue is because this come back to another thing called mindset. Because if we have one type of mindset, we cannot change it. And even though we see whatever in front, we still cannot learn. Say if we take a usual mindset of, you go to a teacher, you always heard in the YouTube and all this seminar, you can see the internal teacher say, you know, this is some kind of internal. I cannot teach you anything. I only can help you to know yourself. Well, that is a problem. Because that is no content at all of what you need to learn. Okay? So the mindset, if you have those type of mindset, you're not going to be able to read my book. Why? Because you keeping thinking, you assume that you already know. So the guy who sells snake oil will say, Raymond, come to me. Okay, let me help you to improve yourself, to know yourself. But it is so vague. Okay, now in terms of the 6 core element, it is not vague. It is like, hey, this is breathing. You human, I'm human, this is breathing. Ancient people breathe, modern people breathe. Let's look into what is breathing, what is a proper breathing, what is not a proper breathing. Let's learn about it and let's develop the proper breathing. So so in my book is, you want to go internal, you need to know how to learn how to breathe. It's very different than today saying that you come to me, oh, I cannot teach you. Only I can help you to learn about yourself, your breathing. Well, how is that supposed to happen? You assume that the guy who come to learn with you know what he's talking about. But well, wait a minute. Like only yesterday with Raymond was doing the force flow class. Now I can share with the world. So Raymond, every time he have to do homework and send me his video. Well, so I look at him and then I take a snapshot. I draw a line, say, well, Raymond, how come the entire body is off? Now, using the example, so Raymond is laughing. Using the example, how can I help you to improve yourself if I do not know what I'm looking for? Yeah. And in fact, you are learning on the body's balance, your spine and all kinds of stuff balance. In this case, it is not about, I cannot teach you anything. I teach you, I only can help you to improve yourself. How can you improve yourself? Because if I do not draw the line in your snapshot of your video, say, hey, straighten this out. Look at the mirror. You see, this is not straight. Okay. So it is very specific. Yeah. Right. And because of that specific, right away, you know that when they get corrected, you know that the body, the tension of the both sides of the body, it changed. So all this mindset of internal today is problem, is vague, is actually do not get to anywhere but philosophy talk. That's why you can see, that's why Xi Xiaodong say that the Chinese Kung Fu is fake. Because like that, if you go study Western boxing or MMA or even Western boxing, the coach will correct you. You breathe this way when you go to in the ring, right? In the Western boxing, it teach you how to breathe. So all this so-called internal mindset, most of it is snake oil. It will never last. It never will face up with the world's martial art today. Why? Because it doesn't have content. It's just like I make my name. You call me a grandmaster, and then I pose like a grandmaster. I just tell you, Raymond, I cannot teach you, and but I can help you to improve yourself. But at the end, whatever you say, I say yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. You look around, isn't it that way? In your 20 years of Wing Chun, do you see a lot of this type of stuff?
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes you have questions and yeah, they can't answer. So then if you don't can answer questions, then you don't know something. If you teach something, you have to know the answers, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't have them, yeah.
If you go to engineering class, you better know exactly what the details. Otherwise, you cannot make that thing happen. Yeah, so it's not like because I'm the professor, so whatever I say is true. So this again back into the mindset of the local. This school, I am the God. I am the grandmaster. This is the ancient secret. That type of mindset. But our mindset here is, if it's engineering, it is physics, it doesn't matter where in the world you go. You can go to any engineering, people will say, okay, you need to go doing this way. So that is mindset stuff. And again, it's all linked to educations. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that it's the time to separate out what is education, what is the philosophy, vague snake oil talk, and don't follow what is the vague snake oil talk. When people say it's philosophy, it's problem. You need to have the technology, and technology require very specific things. So like, I can tell you it is a flow. Like Bruce Lee said, flow, be like water. Well, if you go, if Bruce Lee is here today, you ask him, flow, be like water. I'm sure he will stand up and if I ask Bruce Lee, hey, Uncle Bruce Lee, what is the flow, be like water? He will say, okay, stand up, come on, take your glove, I show you. It's not that he want to beat me, but he expressing, he's teaching me what he mean by flow. Okay, not just empty talk. And for me, it's different. Is I'm using I have an engineering way of expressing and say, okay, there is in terms of momentum, is recycling, instability, and random. And still, what people don't understand. So you still want to, like today, I just get the Red Boat training band. You just go down there and you understand it. So many people like taking the ancient Zen teaching or Bruce Lee's teaching, where they don't understand. And because they don't understand, so they are very vague. And they take that as the teaching or the wisdom of the Chinese martial arts. Now you got a problem. But if you look around, isn't it a lot like that? So the bottom line is this technology. And how difficult is about the flow? Well, it's not that difficult. As this morning I shared the video, you just buy a Red Boat training band, you just go walk around and say, oh, now I know. My body has to handle this way, and this is not linear anymore. This is not a straight line anymore. Every time it changes, it's unstable, it's random. I have to recycle momentum, and my body seems I cannot put my weight behind. Like Raymond, you use the Red Boat training band, right?
Yeah.
What happened when you put your...
That's exactly what you say. Yeah. If you use it, you feel it. You get pulled at the back, and you have to stand straight, and then you feel it. It works. You have a good idea, like a good training, also.
So that is the thing where only with that you can change your mindset. Because say if you have a mindset of those vague stuff, okay, I'm keeping talking about flow and so forth, so forth. And then I'm here talking about the recycling momentum and so forth. Now, how to clarify this? It's not like, hey, talk with your hand, not talk with your mouth. It's very simple. It's like you get a Red Boat training band, you experience that, and then you say, oh, this is what I mean. And then the other party will verify it if this is what they mean. Or the other party really have no understanding on what is going on, but vague flow. We can always talk flow, but what is flow? Right? I'm sure that if you met Bruce Lee, Uncle Bruce Lee will show you what is flow. It's not to beat you up, but show you what is flow. So there's a difference between you share the experience, communicate, you let other people experience what it is, then you go beat up somebody because somebody said, hey, Bruce Lee, what is flow? Because when you say, hey, Uncle Bruce, what is flow? You are not challenging him to fight. You want to understand what is flow. But in today's world, you can see that when people say, what is flow? Then you can become a challenge. Am I right, Raymond?
Yeah.
You know, don't talk too much. Talk with my hand. So, and that's why the miss, you go off topic because the guy who asking you is not trying to challenge you. The guy say, what is flow? So again, this is all education's mindset is within it. And if we don't know how to make it clear, it is problem. So this is what I'd like to share with you guys today. And Raymond, do you have any other questions?
No, it's clear for me. It's good that you explain this, that we know.
So even if you take my class, don't expect that you're going to fly or I show you some magic. There's no magic. Every bit of piece need to be able to handle, or else we don't know what it is. We don't know what we are talking about. When other people don't understand, it's not that you want to beat them. Got nothing to do with beat them. It's to explain what is this thing. Right? So science is for explaining. Science is not like I'm better than you. But you always have to agree with what I'm saying. So, okay, let's talk next time. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.